This is the Fearless Launching Show. I'm your host, Anne Samoilov, and today is our mixed bag, what's been happening in March, April, and a little bit of May so far. We're going to be talking about some kind of boring-ish business, as well as the main projects that I'm working on now and what's coming up very, very soon. I'm so excited to share all this with you, and it's a little bit of a rambly one, like we're on Voxer together or sharing voice memos or the ones that I share with my besties already, but I wanted to share it with you today. So if that sounds interesting, if you want to hang out with me for a little bit, well, keep listening. The Fearless Launching Show was created to answer the question, how can I launch my big idea to the world in the most simple, straightforward way possible and reach more of the right people? I'm your host, Anne Samoilov, and I've been helping 6- and 7-figure business owners launch for over a decade. And while I love geeking out about improving launches, new launch strategies, what's working, what's not working, I'm also obsessed with exploring the heart, the mind, the challenges of running your own business. And that's what we're going to do each and every week. I want to show you how to launch that course or coaching program or other creative work and navigate the journey of being an online entrepreneur. So if you're ready for some new perspectives, some new stories around launching, well, I can't wait to share those with you. Let's get into today's episode. Well, hey there. So as I mentioned in the introduction, today is a mixed bag episode. So the one that I did for January and February, about some of the business things on my mind, some of the things that we were working on, that actually got a lot of response from you. So I was really excited to do another one as soon as it felt necessary. So officially, we'll be talking about March and April. This is the March and April recap, but we're also going to include some of May. Because if you're on my list, if you're following me on any social media stuff, you may know that over the past 2 weeks, I've been hosting webinars. I opened the doors to the Message Lab program, and with a very special live component to it that I've added for this round, which is a sprint kind of implementation 2-week intensive. It's quite a bonus to say all of that. But if you want to attend our very last live webinar, or just sign up for the replay before it goes away, because today's webinar, the replay will be available probably through Monday at the latest, but then we'll be doing some other stuff to talk about the program and to encourage you to join us after that. So if you want to learn more about that, you can just go to annesamoilov.com / what is the /? Hold on, let me just check. It's annesamoilov.com / TML-NEW. Okay. And you can just go down to the show notes. You'll see the direct link there. No fuss, no muss. Everything is right in front of you. But I wanted to just share some of the kind of main things that have been happening in the business. So March and April, there have been things that I've had to deal with, first of all, on the business end, just like pure business operations. And then there's also been marketing things, and there's also been delivery things. So let's go through those a little bit. So first and foremost, taxes are obviously due. You have to file taxes in April. And, I'm not ashamed, but I wish I had handled 2021 better in terms of not keeping track of things. I'm always on top of that, but it was more just there were other opportunities to, lower the amount of taxes that I ended up having to pay this year. And there's always a good and bad when you have to pay a little bit more than the last year. And that's like, oh, well, that's actually not a bad thing. It kind of means we grew. And also, I don't want to give anybody that money, but I have to do it. You know what I mean? So taxes, I continue to work with the same person who is out of state actually, but She has such a great handle on everything. And she understands that I'm in Florida now. So she knows all about, LLCs here and all of that. So that happened. That was great. But it definitely was like, oh, snap, I owe a lot. But it's all good. It's all good. Then in terms of the LLC itself, I discovered, and this is something that I wish I had kind of handled years ago at this point. One of them is a years ago thing. One of them is an immediate kind of thing. And that was I dissolved my LLC in Washington, but I guess I didn't close it. And so that there were two parts to the process that I actually had to kind of get a handle on and understand. I mean, I'm still closing my Washington LLC as of today because then I got this other form that I had to fill out to close it. So the good thing is that they're not California, and assuming that I'm in some sort of weird default state, which has been really challenging closing the LLC in California because we filed everything correctly and now they're saying that we didn't. So I'm handling some business admin stuff like that. And, it is what it is. I think that we have to remember that what we're doing isn't just in this little bubble and we can't, we have to be responsible about this. So this is my commitment to start handling that stuff better, hiring someone to just not just handle it, but be the point person on my team to handle it, because I feel like I've got all the people in place outside of myself, but I'm not sure when I need to reach out about some things, and I forget to follow up on things. I just do. So anyways, that stuff has been going on. Another piece, which kind of goes back to some of the stuff that I was dealing with in the beginning of the year, the other mixed bag episode, if you want to watch or listen to that, I'm gonna put a link to that one as well. But some of the stuff that was happening in January and February kind of alerted me to the fact that I needed to basically file this form that says I'm going to continue using my trademark Fearless Launching, which I am because this podcast and my program and all of that still exists, right? So that's something that I've been working on, and a trademark issue kind of just went away, which is great without even me having to do anything about it, because there was almost going to be something that I was going to have to address and, send official emails, not emails, but communication about to the party in question. But that has now since kind of chilled out, which is good. So those are some of the kind of big things. One of the other things that's been on my mind, and I don't really think I'm there yet, is I keep looking and coveting what Rachel Cook is doing in her local area, and she has a space, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want this space, because there's nothing that exists here like that. But I run across small business owners all the time in our small-ish town. It's not a small town, but it's smaller than Los Angeles. Let's just put it that way. There aren't co-working spaces all over the place. I have to go to the city, which is not very far. It's like only 40 minutes or so, but it would be kind of cool if there was something like that in this area. And so I've been just thinking about that and how to make that happen, but I don't know how to make that happen. So if anybody else has any ideas about that, hey, email me, because I want to open a space, not only where I can just go work, but where we can host events, where other businesses can, rent out this space if they want to for headshots and their own meetings and their own masterminds and different things like that. And believe me, I live in a place where people want to come here. They want to come here and, sit on the beach and then go to their business meetings and all of that. So anyways, I'm going to move on, but that's been in my mind as well. But also along with this, just trying new things and really embracing what it is that I want this company to be and what business I want to do in this company, and really this, I keep saying really because I'm like really into this, obviously, but I felt like I was starting to walk my walk a little bit more when it comes to how I'm launching, because as much as I really encourage other people to challenge themselves and step outside what they know other people are doing and what they see other people saying are the right way to do things, I always feel like it's important to also just try new things. Oh, well, what if this works? Like me doing the weekly newsletter on video. Now, I didn't do a video this week so far, but I have a video that I'm going to share with you. So hopefully you'll like that. But this is what I'm doing. So the Message Lab, let me talk to you about that. I mentioned it at the very beginning. So I did a live webinar last week, but the reason why I decided to do it is because the program was so fun to do. It was such a fun live experience. The people in it are amazing. They made me want to show up to add things to it. Plus, besides the, oh my gosh, I really want to do this because this sounds like fun. It's a true need for most people, having the guidance, to create your communication, what emails you should send, what you should post, how the communication should kind of flow out before the launch and like as you lead up to the launch. And I pushed myself really to map out everything, the content in terms of like what I was going to send. I searched and used emails over again. Like I'm all about reusing emails and reusing assets, reusing other, like the podcasts, for instance. I had several communication related podcasts and I made those a little playlist on Spotify and shared those. And I'll put that in the notes here as well. But mapping everything out myself using this Notion tool, and I don't know if you've seen that yet, but it's really fun. If you haven't tried Notion, I highly recommend it. It's like Airtable meets Google Drive, and the Google suite of things, but just on another level. It just feels great to create inside of it. But the thing is with the Message Lab is I didn't want to just open the doors and be like, hey, buy this program. I wanted to make it special, have a reason why I'm doing this, have a reason why this was going to happen. And the reason is I know that we're about to hit summer. Now, some people have launches in the summer. That's great. But a lot of people are getting ready to either kind of do their launch in June and then be done for the summer, or they're planning on what's going to happen in August and beyond, right? So we're going to do a 2-week sprint, which is the bonus for the Message Lab, where we're going to get together. First of all, you have access to the program, so you'll be in that. That's kind of like your week 1. Week 2 and 3, in theory, depending on when you enroll, we'll be getting on live 3 times a week, each week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And Monday and Wednesday, we'll be going through like one session per phase, and then Fridays will kind of be like the Q&A, and Mondays we also have a little bit of extra time, so we're going to be doing a co-working session right after our main kind of workshop. But everything is actually already available. All the content is actually in the Message Lab. So this is kind of a unique time because not only did I just drop the price just because, like, as I wanted to, no other reason. I'm like, I don't want this to be $9.97. I want it to be $6.97. And I want to add 2 weeks of like intensive coaching, and I want to give some bonuses for people who take that action right away. And we'll see, maybe this will be something that will repeat, but we don't know yet. So if it's something that you think that you want, make sure to DM me or check out the link in the show notes so that you can go there. And if you want to join our last live webinar, which is May 5th, depending on when you're listening to this, you may have passed that, or sign up for the replay to see if that's still available. You can go to the ansamoilov.com/TML-new and that will get you to the sign up page. And don't worry about it. Like if you really want to see this, all you have to do is reach out to me if for some reason it isn't available. And assuming it's still within the realm of this next couple of weeks, I will kind of send you the direct link to it. So just FYI on that. And the replay itself, I'm really trying to stick to it being available only through the weekend. But again, I'm also trying to do this my way. So if I decide not to, I won't. For instance, I was going to close the doors today, and I decided, nope, I need longer. I want more time. I want more time with the people to make sure that they understand what this is so that they can join. So that's been on my mind for the last couple of months. Then we've been focused on the incubator, which, by the way, is opening soon again for applications. So if you want to be considered, you can go to that page now and you can just apply now. If you at least just want to know what's happening, when it's happening. But don't worry, like we're not actually filling those spaces until probably, I want to say mid-June. I don't have the exact date in front of me, but here's why. It's just so much has changed in the last 6 months in the program. And like we've added these new refocusing calls because I don't want someone who's trying to launch to spend hours in content with no way of getting feedback because they can't make it to the live coaching call. Now, I do want people to start using those a little bit more. However, I understand that we're all in different places. So adding that refocus session has just been a game changer for a few people who've been really have a lot of stuff on their plate, have a lot of things leading up to what they're going to be launching. Our first coach came on for mindset calls. People need this more than you think, and we have coaches in our program. So it's not even just for people who aren't coaches. It can seriously keep you calm, level-headed during a launch to have someone to be like, I'm kind of struggling here. So we have our first coach that came on to do those. Like I said, we're doing this. We will be doing a live webinar soon that dives into how to build this launch system without turning your business over to robots. Like human plus system plus connected can go hand in hand. And we're really excited about that. In addition, all of our incubator members already have access to the Message Lab, but having that extra new community element, like a different community, more people in the mix, sometimes kind of just gives a little burst of energy to people. So I'm excited about that. The incubator members are too. And our applications are open. They are open all the time. They're open right now. But we're also going to be doing that free class so that everyone understands the overall process that I'm going to be using to help you launch. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely get on that list. The other thing that I wanted to say is, oh my gosh. So, one of the things that I feel like is always a challenge for people who are shifting from working for someone else, or maybe they have a main business or main company and they want to do something else, but it doesn't quite fit in with the thing they're currently doing. And so there's this element of, well, I'm supposed to just focus on one thing, or I can't go work on projects like that anymore because I'm an entrepreneur. Well, guess what, guys? I am currently trying to work on this project back in my old industry just because I love getting pushed out of my comfort zone. And I think that we get comfortable whenever we do something too long. And so we need that perspective. And so right now I'm hoping I'll be able to tell you about it more soon, but this is something that, my mindset has changed so much around working as a producer on a project that it's like a different audience all of a sudden. It's kind of exciting. And when you can add those other things to your business, it doesn't have to be a project where you're going to be working with other people necessarily. It could mean that you're going to start selling a different type of product. You want to kind of try your hand at selling someone else's product, or being an affiliate, or all of a sudden just offering VIP days for the summer, whatever it is for you, let yourself do that. Like it could be that you're like, I really want that ad revenue from YouTube. So I'm going to start doing videos twice a week, or I'm going to start doing videos and those are going to be my podcasts. I mean, I thought of YouTube as well. And I feel like there's no problem in doing that kind of thing. I do think focus is a really hard thing to come by. And I'll kind of admit to the fact that like sometimes I get myself to a place where I'm interested in way too many things. So right now, I'm not. I'm reined in, but I love new ideas. I love new ways of bringing energy and life into what we're doing because, just like you might have gotten sick of your job because you were in it for years and there was nothing that was really exciting to you, or you didn't feel like you were growing, and so you wanted to create your business. Same thing sometimes happens in your business. And so there's different ways to mix things up. You don't have to take on different offers or different things like that. You could just be like, it's time I work with other people. It's time I come out of hiding. It's time I have a real company that hires people, that has employees, right? So, what are some ways that you can diversify your business? And then also, what are some ways that you can start talking in the way you want to talk? Like, for instance, this Message Lab program is not a copywriting course. And I actually feel some sense of responsibility. I might actually reach out to this person today and let them know this. This is really about organizing what communication you're going to send out. It's not teaching you how to write it. It's telling you, here's what you have to say. Like, I feel like, yes, part of the battle is knowing what to say, and part of the battle is knowing how to say it. But I think if you learn to say it first yourself in all its clunky, real form, people can appreciate that. If you're saying the right things, the stuff is there. Your what is okay. Then even if you sound awkward or weird or it's not perfect conversion copy, people will still respond to you. And it can always be improved. So you take your sequences to people after you go through the Message Lab and you're like, okay, I know I have the right stuff in here. Can you help me make sure that this sounds really good? Can you help me really, tweak any of the weird wording, But I'm a fan of weird wording. I want that weird wording. I don't want it to sound like all cool. Like I'm thinking of copywriters that I really love what they do. And I'm like, dang, I wish I could write like that. But that would be weird if they wrote my stuff and then I sounded like them. I want my copy to be weird. So anyway, so the Message Lab is not about how to write conversion copy. It's not about how to make sales writing better copy. It's about sending the right message. Communication is like an art form that is all about getting people to feel comfortable and helping people, know for sure if you're the right person to work with, to be around, to learn from, to get the solution from. And you know what? Everybody has different communication styles. And so that's why I feel like it's such an opportunity for anyone who's just like, I don't have the funds, I don't have the money to invest in the copywriter yet. Let me just get the what created first. Let me do a pass at that. Let me just see how that goes. And then over time, I can improve it, but at least I'll have the what down. Anyway, so I could go on and on, but like the Message Lab to me is communication is so important. Feeling comfortable communicating your offer is so important. We have this really fun exercise we do and we'll be doing on the very first live session that I think is one of the most powerful and revealing, and it really gets you out of your head if you've ever felt like you just listen to me. I'm like stammering over here, but I don't care because I feel like my heart is in this. And if you've been listening to the podcast this long, you know me, right? So yeah, we do this really great exercise that I learned in one of my singing voice lessons. It's not a singing exercise, but it is something that really helps you turn the tables and see and get to the place where you feel comfortable talking about your offer, talking about what you do, really knowing how to express yourself, understanding what that other person needs in terms of you encouraging them. And yeah, anyways, so this is what's been going on for me in the past couple of months. I'm excited about the summer. My daughter's ending middle school in just a few weeks and summer starts. But before that happens, come spend 2 weeks with me. Check out the Message Lab. And again, if you're curious what's included in everything, well, then go to the link that's in the show notes and, go check out the workshop. You can sign up for the replay or whatever. And then that's it. That is it. I am so thrilled for what's coming soon. And this summer, the next mixed bag episode is probably going to be a little bit more detailed because if you're into it, I'm going to go through, some of the things that are happening with launches, especially this one, when I have a full kind of debrief that I can do with you. And I hope that you stay in touch and reach out to me. All right, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week. And if I don't see you on the webinar, if I don't see you in the Message Lab, well, I will see you next week on this podcast. Take care. Have a great one.